Yo, I'm not even going to pretend that that was fun. I'm just kidding. That was fun. That was really all it took to get my motivation back. Because if y'all paid attention to anything I've said over the last couple of months, I'm like, man, I don't want to bowl. I don't want to practice. I don't want to do these things for some reason. And I think it's because I've been so overloaded with pro shop work and, making videos and everything, which the videos, okay, it's not the videos. It's the lack of time in the bowling center for myself, I guess is what it is. So when I got here to the Players Championship in Wichita, which the drive sucked, by the way, 15 hours of driving through nothing. And luckily I left a day early to miss the snowstorm that came in. But anyway, I know a lot of people got stuck. People got stuck, couldn't get in from the airport, and just driving, people getting stuck on the roads. It was pretty awful. Driving into the bowling center that morning of the PTQ was interesting. It took us a half an hour to go 5 miles because there was cars all in the ditch everywhere. I mean, in this area, I guess maybe they're not as equipped or ready for snow quite like we are up in Michigan. So maybe not everybody has all-terrain tires or anything like that. They just kind of put the normal, nonchalant little cheap tires on their car. I don't know. But there was a lot of cars slipping and sliding all over the place. And here I am in my truck just, wah, get out of the way. It was pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, the motivation was pretty good. Once I got here and started bowling and just having the atmosphere around me again and being around the paddock, people drilling balls, the PBA truck, and all of a sudden it was like, even grabbing my stuff today because I did not bowl well. I mean, I bowled pretty well physically. I made a mistake. We'll talk about that in a minute. But as far as, just getting here and seeing everybody in the paddock and everybody drilling bowling balls and all that stuff, like, it was fun. It was good. Makes you want to be involved again. So the good news is I was on the wait list for all the PTQs that are coming up, because I do have to bowl all the qualifiers, which I had to bowl this one, and I end up missing this cut by 40 pins or something, mostly because I'm an idiot, but we'll get into that. But it was just, I can't express, it's just different getting out and actually doing the events and being out here than it is sitting back and being and practicing and getting ready for the events. Like, my motivation was zero heading into this week, and then I got here, and all of a sudden my motivation's back to 100, and I'm ready to get back to work and do some things for the upcoming events. And I think a lot of it is because this was validation that my fit is finally the way I want it. I didn't have any issues with my hand. I didn't have issues getting the ball off my hand properly. I didn't have a problem with it hanging up one shot and then, falling off the next. I never had any of those issues at all. It was just, I started out with 246. I threw the red IQ 78 the first game. And I tell you what, I had such a good ball reaction. I could play that. I was like at that 8, 9, 10 range, kind of like you see in the reviews where I'm playing straighter. And then if I got it going to the right, there was friction there, and it would pick up and roll and get through the pins. A couple of bad shots the first game is why I only bowled 240. If I missed left, the ball wouldn't hook, so it just sat there. And that's not necessarily a good thing. It created, they were cliffed pretty much from the beginning. So there was a lot of oil in the middle, and there was dry spots to the outside. And after bowling 240, I tricked myself into just staying straighter, keeping into that urethane ball. This coffee's good, by the way, from the hotel. Staying in the urethane ball, and I kind of grinded out 2-0 the next game. That's when my carry started to go away. And right then, there was a spot in that game where I'm like, man, I miss a little left and my ball just hangs. I throw it to the right and it overhooks. And now I'm getting the over-under because my ball's overhooking. And if I don't throw it to the dry, it flat tens, so I don't have enough friction. I don't have enough motion in the middle part of the lane to get my ball to go through the pins. And my first thought was, just grab a big, strong ball, like a exotic gem, or not an exotic gem, my magic gem that I put surface on. I dulled it up a little bit more for this event, and just go left and let it hook in the oil. And then when you throw it to the right, it'll roll off that dry. But I didn't. I fought with urethane the entire third game. Until the end. I finally grabbed a different ball, but even then I didn't grab a different ball and move left. I grabbed a different ball thinking I could still play that same area, and maybe that ball would just blend out that dry to the right, and all I had was over under. I bowled 157. And then I got tricked again because I threw a ball at the end. I threw that absolute power or whatever I had. Yeah, the absolute power. And it looked pretty good. It picked up and it went through the pins. And, or no, it wasn't the absolute power. That's when I grabbed the exotic gem. And I moved just a few left. I didn't move far enough left. I moved just a few left. And I started with the first four strikes. But then all of a sudden the over-under hit again. And I couldn't get the ball to do the right thing. And I didn't strike again for the entire game. And I bowled 2-0. I ended up opening, I ended up big fouring somewhere in the game, and then I ended up sparing out. Got 9 spare pretty much the rest of the way for 2-0. And I threw the absolute power at the end of that game. And then I bowled 170 in game 5, doing the same thing. Like, what is wrong with me? Somebody slap me across the face and say, dude, move your ass to the left, grab a big ball, and use the hold to your advantage. But for some reason, I'm sitting there fighting, trying to stay further right and trying to play straighter up the lane. I don't know why. So there was, like, what was wrong with me? It was one of those times where I just wanted to kick myself. Like, I'm thinking back on it now, and I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? What were you even thinking? Why were you doing that? And to be fair, I thought scores were going to come down, so I was kind of in grind mode there. I thought scores were going to really plummet. Watching how the lanes transitioned and changed, and they only, sorry, my phone did something weird. They only transitioned and changed because of how I was playing the lanes. Like, I was playing them wrong. I was doing the wrong thing. So I was seeing them weird. And the people that were scoring the highest were not seeing them weird. So I'm an idiot. That's just simple as that. I'm an idiot. I did the wrong things, which is, it's actually kind of rare. It's rare that I actually find myself saying I played the lanes wrong, or that I did the wrong things. Normally I can say I made bad shots, or I missed some spares, or my execution was poor. This time, I just played the lanes wrong. I was just stupid. Because game 6, I grabbed that exotic gem, and finally it was kind of the point where I'm like, well, I need like 160 over these last 2, otherwise I have no chance. So I got nothing else to lose. Might as well do what my instincts told me. And I took a step left, and I started throwing the ball right. And what do you know? With a couple of 10 pins mixed in there, I bowled 250 that game. Well, son of a beep. What is wrong with you? So I bowled 250, and I'm like, all right, so now I'm 35 over. The cut at that point was 115 over. So, and I didn't know what the cut was, but I'm like, maybe if I throw them all, I'm in good shape. And I start out, I strike, and then I stone 9. And I'm like, ugh, that's kind of a gut punch. Not like it wasn't that big a deal, because obviously I'm so far out of it at this point that it's not that much of a big deal. But anyway, so then I end up throwing the next like 4, and I'm like, all right, 280 gets me to 115 over. Looking at the standings after the 5th frame or something, the cut was already at 117, so I'm like, I'm already out of it. So unless the cut were to drop, if I bowled 280 here, there's no way, but it didn't. Anyway, so I end up bowling 240 again that game. So I bowled 90 something over, 95 over that last 2 games, doing what my instincts told me I should have done in game 3. Nope, I had that in game 2, near the middle of game 2. If I would have done that initially, like I was supposed to, I guarantee I gave away at least 200 pins. Because with my ball reaction the way it was at the end, there's no way I don't bowl at least, well, we'll call it 100. There's no way I don't bowl at least another 100 over. So I get to 100, probably 200 over pretty soft, pretty easily, if I don't make the stupid mistake. So this is on me. I mean, it's always on me, but there's good news here. The good news is I threw it pretty well. I recognized my mistakes, and I got to use the new app that we have being designed and developed. And I got to tell you, we're going to be doing some tweaks to it to add some cool little features and stuff, but it's freaking sweet, man. Like, this thing lets you track everything as far as your expenses for your hotel, the brackets you get into, any pots you get into, stuff like that. You get to take pictures of your bowling balls and add them to your arsenal. You get to change the layout on your bowling ball, that you can actually move the pin, move the CG, and you know which bowling ball's which. You change the color of it. Like, I mean, you get to do everything. You keep track of your arsenal. You get to build different arsenals. So you can have a short pattern arsenal, and then you can, okay, I'm bowling on this pattern today. This is the arsenal I'm using, and then you can add balls into your arsenal as you need to. You can, as you're keeping track of your games, it'll have the ball underneath the score, and it'll show which ball you threw that frame, and you can change like if you threw a different ball, like on your second shot or the third shot of the 10th frame. So it'll show you if you made a ball change. And then it'll keep that ball throughout until you tell it to change. So, and then it keeps all kinds of stats, everything you need to know about your game. And there's got some other things that are added I'm not going to tell you about yet, because once the app is actually released, you'll be able to, I'll give you a complete total demo, and you'll be able to see all the things that this thing can do, and it's unbelievable. Just think lane talk on steroids. Just think that. It's going to be ridiculous. So, yeah, anyway, my motivation is top notch right now. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to roll. I'm going to get home. I'm heading home right now. I just packed my stuff up. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Nope, just kidding. It's 10 o'clock in the morning at home, so it's 9 o'clock here. So I'm going to be heading home. I'm going to try to get back in one trip, 15 hours. It's going to be the middle of the night, but we're going to get her done, because then I can go and just get some sleep, pick my boy up from school tomorrow, and get ready to get back to work. Get ready to go for, hopefully I can make, I'm in the waiting list for the PTQ at the US Open. I don't know that I'll get into that one, but I am in the rest of the events for the year. So at least as far as the PTQs go, I'm in the Masters already. So we'll be good. So just giving you guys a heads up, giving you an update. This has been fun. I can't wait to get going again. So I'm out of here. We'll see you guys later.